you. That we wanted to recognize Jerry's story. He has been named the Veteran Service Officer of the Year. We wanted to recognize Jerry's story. Jerry has been named the Veteran Service Officer of the Year. I know that there was a memo that went out to all the commissioners about this. And, recognize Jerry's story. Jerry has been named the Veteran Service Officer of the Year. I know that there. Jerry, would you like to tell us how you got this award? I mean, we know all the hard work you do, so.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. To be honest with you, it caught me totally by surprise. I just wasn't prepared for this kind of recognition. I started my 5th year doing this in June, and our regional directors submitted names for them to choose for this award, and like the article said, it's out of 34 counties in Tennessee, and there's 43 VSOs. And they recognized me as the County Service Officer of the Year for the East Region. So it is a great honor, great recognition.
Well, Jerry, it's unreal how you've taken this program and just picked it up and carried it and took the lead and helped our veterans here in Washington County and many other places too. So we're just proud, and we want to recognize you tonight for the great job you do, and we're just tickled to death that we heard that news and did want to recognize you tonight for what a great team effort you have down there.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate the commission that decided to open up this office and gave me the opportunity to get it going. And I really appreciate it. And the veterans in the area appreciate it. We work with not only Washington County vets, but any veteran in any other county that doesn't have a VSO office, we try to help. I'm getting phone calls from all over the state. And there are, believe it or not, phone calls from all over the country calling this office for help. And usually it's because of a loved one that lives in it. And it's just a great honor for me to do this.
Jerry, we appreciate you. Mayor, did you have anything to say about, I know the fine work that Jerry's doing there every day with you? You're muted, Mayor.
Okay, is that better?
That's better. We can hear you now.
Sorry about that. I think, Mr. Chairman, you did an excellent job, talking about the wonderful work that Jerry does. And in the 4.5 years or so that he's been involved, he's touched a little over 9,700 veterans in helping them maneuver the quagmire sometimes of the VA system. Not just Washington County, but mostly Washington County. Washington County has a very large population of veterans, and his work is just really important. And he's bringing new services to his office where he'll be able to help veterans in a whole new way. He's a veteran himself. He's an Air Force Vietnam era veteran, and really understands and relates well to these folks. So, Jerry, just want to thank you. And we know that you're, struggling with your father's illness at the moment as you put him into the VA system today. I just want you to know that our thoughts and our prayers will be with you for him, the next days as he is hopefully helped there at the VA. So, again, thank you very much.
I appreciate that, Joe, and I appreciate you working out and getting me a bigger place to do my job. It's really great. I can actually stretch out my arms and not touch both walls. And a lot more room, a lot more privacy, and it's just really great. And I invite any of the commissioners to come by and see the office. It's really nice. When you walk in, you can tell it's got a military atmosphere, and that makes these vets feel at ease.
Well, Jerry, thank you again, and we appreciate you coming and taking the time tonight and visiting with us just a few moments. And again, we thank you. And if we could all give you a standing ovation tonight, I think we would.
Well,
So we're going to do our very best to do a little clapping here for you. And, thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next item is the Board of County Commissioners minutes from the October 26, 2020 meeting that were previously mailed to you. Do we have a motion or a second?
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Tester. I have a correction.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Tester.
On Resolution 2010-09, I think the minutes need to reflect that the motion to approve that resolution was by Commissioner Wheeler and the second was by Commissioner Light. That was the one where we talked about amending the rent amount from $3,600 to $3,300, and what the minutes said was that we had voted to amend it, but there was no resolution recorded on there where we voted to approve it, and we actually did not vote separately to amend it. So I think the minutes need to reflect that original motion and second by Commissioner Wheeler and Light. So I would move that we accept the minutes with that correction.
All right. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes with those corrections? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Edens. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, for your benefit, I'll just let you know that Commissioner Tester's correction is consistent with the resolution as it was written and approved.
Thank you, Allison.
Call for the question.
The question's been called. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carrier,
Yes.
Yes.
Tester,
Yes.
Fine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
All right, then the motion passes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Our next item under elections and appointments and confirmations is Resolution 2011-07. It's a resolution reappointing 3 members to the Emergency Communications Board of the Communications District. These appointments are made by the mayor and confirmed by the commission. We have a motion.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Edens, seconded by Commissioner Davenport to approve the resolution. Any questions or seeing none? And Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
I'll abstain.
Kate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carrier,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tester,
Yes.
Fine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
11 yes, 1 abstain, 3 absent.
The resolution passes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, we'll move on to the reports of officials and committees. First, we'll start out with the county mayor's report. Mayor?
Mr. Commissioner, Mr. Chairman, we have no official report tonight. Happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions for the mayor? All right. Being none, we'll move right along to the county attorney's report. Ms. Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have a written report this evening. I will, in the spirit of the season, use the opportunity to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to bring my experience and my education to service in Washington County. I'm very thankful to each of you and to the mayor's office. And if anybody would like to discuss anything that's on this agenda or next month, I know you'll just reach out and let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilkinson. We appreciate the fine job you do. All right, Mayor, do we have a new director at the health department, or are we just kind of waiting to hear?
Great question. Interviews have taken place. The selection process, I believe, is complete. They finished interviews about the middle of last week. I think we're going to have a really good candidate to bring forward to you at the next meeting, hopefully. We're close.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. We'll be looking forward to a new director there. She'll have big shoes to fill, taking Kristen's place, that's for sure. Well, we know she will. Director of Schools report, Dr. Flannery. I'm sure he is with the school board now. They are meeting tonight as well, starting at 5. Right, our next committee report is the CIA committee. I know they didn't meet, but Commissioner Carriger was kind enough to work through this pilot report for us. Commissioner Carriger?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Alicia Summers is with us, and she's going to give us an update on the pilot program. Alicia?
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you all for having me here tonight. And on behalf of the Johnson City Industrial Development Board, I'm going to give you the annual report for the pilots. Let's see. And Susan, I can't control the slide. There we go. And just as a reminder, so exactly what is a pilot? It is a payment in lieu of taxes created by state legislation. The Industrial Development Boards under Title VII, Chapter 23 allows industrial development boards to reduce, discount, or freeze taxes for up to 20 years. The Johnson City Commissioners delegated authority to the Johnson City Industrial Development Board in 2014, and just this past October, last month, they renewed that delegation of authority. And then just a short reminder that pilots are used very commonly across the state for recruitment, expansion, and retention projects, and they're used to win a project or close a deal. Next slide. And then each of the pilots that we have has a remedy for non-performance, and all have reporting requirements. And I know that most of us have discussed this in the past. The companies provide us data to support the number of new jobs they've created. And the reports are reviewed by multiple entities, including CPAs, the Industrial Development Board's attorney, company officers, and the State Comptroller's Office. Next slide. Next. Thanks. And then a few key terms that, just a reminder. So recruitment is a new industry, typical. Those are brought by the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development or the Tennessee Valley Authority, although some of those are also locally generated. Those are all new jobs and new capital investment. A retention project keeps an existing industry here. Those projects, typically the company is at risk. It helps to retain current jobs, and those are most often identified locally. And then an expansion, an existing industry that's experiencing growth. They can either be adding bricks and mortar or just new product lines, and those have new jobs, new capital investment, and those are most often identified from the local level as well. Next. And how do we look at projects to determine whether or not to offer a pilot? So we evaluate those under a variety of factors. The benefit it brings to Washington County. Does it bring growth and opportunity? The number of full-time jobs over a 5-year projection. The wages, we're trying to move that median income up. The amount of capital investment. Things like building and land, new product lines, machinery and equipment, moving expenses, that type of thing. And then we also look at workforce availability. Do we have the trained workforce here that can help a new company become successful? So we look at those types of things. Next slide. So currently the Johnson City Industrial Development Board has 4 pilots. They're with Silverdale Partners, LPI, and Hatley Properties, Mulliken Flooring, and Crown Labs. Next slide. And then on NN, and remember, we're looking back over a year. So from June of last year till June of this year. So the NN pilot closed out. Click it again, please. And they had, it was terminated in October of 2019, and they made those tax repayments to both the city and the county. Next slide. And then the Silverdale pilot has been in effect since November of 2016. We're currently abating 40% of their taxes. They have created 139 jobs over the past 4 years. They've sent in their performance report annually. And next slide, please. So overall, they've created 139 new jobs, and that exceeded their new job projection and their capital investment requires. So they projected 102 originally over 5 years, and they're up right now to 139 new jobs. Next slide. Mulliken Flooring was a pilot that the Johnson City Industrial Development Board did in March of 2017. That project included a pilot and a facility lease. In 2020, the company began paying their lease payments back. So they made their first payment in March of 2020. Their next payment will be due next year. That project had a $7.5 million capital investment, and they projected 200 new jobs, and they're up to 80 as of their performance report date back in April. And you might remember that was a joint project or joint agreement between Washington County and Johnson City for a grant we did to the company. Next slide. LPI, that was a competitive recruitment project. They invested $7 million in capital and projected 290 new jobs over 5 years. They're in year 3 of their performance report. They've created 182 so far, and it qualified under the Johnson City Industrial Development Board's capital investment program. What that does, the capital investment program, is it is a set of guidelines that the Industrial Development Board can offer pilots to companies that fall within those guidelines without having to take every project to the county commission, to the city commission. Pilots that fall outside of those guidelines go to the city commission for approval. Next slide. So like I said, they've created 182 new jobs, adding a little over $8 million annually in payroll to the local economy. And just a little bit of pride here. So here's their story. So they bought the former Bosch facility in Johnson City, little over 300,000 square feet. That was in 2016. Next slide. In August of 2019, they were planning an expansion. So they acquired an additional 126,000 square foot facility in Johnson City as well. They're currently using that for warehousing and logistics. Next slide. And then in September, just 2 months ago, they announced they were adding a second shift with it, which they had never done before, and added 100 new full-time positions for that second shift. So they're really moving and shaking. And then this last pilot is Crown Labs. That pilot was done in October of 2019, so it's just over a year old. We did a grant, a pilot, and a facility lease with them. They projected $27 million in capital investment and the creation of 216 new jobs. The city did a grant to them and also did a pilot for 10 years. Their first performance report will be due January 31st of 2021. And they'll be starting off with their baseline jobs, which is the number that they had at the time the pilot started, of 175. Next slide. Here's a quick snapshot of their ribbon cutting from back in November of 2019. I think some of you may have been at that ribbon cutting. Next slide. The Crown logo on the corporate headquarters building. And that was just back up just a second, that headquarters project was, or that project was both headquarters and an expansion of the manufacturing. So we won the headquarters for that facility, and then they're working on a bricks and mortar expansion at their current manufacturing facility. So that was a big coup for us for getting both the expansion and the headquarters. Next slide. And then Lab Connect is not part of the pilot report for 2019 and 2020, but I wanted to just say a few words about that. So we competed for their headquarters relocation from Seattle, Washington, and also the expansion at their Johnson City facility, which we won. They did a very low-key announcement because of COVID-19 in April. But the project itself will create 211 new jobs and have about $9 million in capital investment. The City Industrial Development Board did a pilot that'll come online in 2020. And we did a ribbon cutting in September of 2020. I spoke with the company yesterday, and as part of their expansion, what they did was add freezers to their biorepository area. What that company does, just as a reminder, is they assemble and analyze clinical trials and assemble test kits for those. So they keep samples from all of those. When I spoke to the company yesterday, they let me know that they had some freezers in place and that they have the capability of holding 280,000 COVID-19 vaccinations. They are in the process of reaching out to the local health departments and the local governments to let them know that they have space available. The vaccines, the first one that's coming out, that should be coming out from Pfizer, has to be stored at minus 80 degrees Celsius. So in order to accept the vaccinations, you have to have a place to store them. And like I said, Lab Connect is working on getting the word out that they can do that storage. They can hold up to 280,000 vaccines. So just wanted to let you all know about that. So next slide. And then there's a photo of their ribbon cutting. And I am more than happy to answer any questions you all might have about any of those pilots or anything else for that matter.
Alicia, I was trying to do the math in my head, but I think that's over 600 jobs that have been brought into our community.
Yep, and those are just the ones that are under the Johnson City Industrial Development Board pilots. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I guess if there's no questions, that ends our report. And Alicia, I appreciate you providing the commission with this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate the opportunity. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Alicia does such a great job. I learn something every time she is here. I always appreciate her coming and giving us an update and learning really what's going on in our business community. Our next item is the Health, Education, and Welfare Committee. Commissioner Jones.
Thank you, Chairman. I am pleased to report that the Health, Education, and Welfare Committee met on October 8th, and you can find draft minutes in your packet on page 32. Probably the most significant business of the committee was talking with our county building official, Mr. Scott Chapman, who asked us to consider a resolution that would prepare our community to update the current building codes with the new 2018 International Residential Codes. Importantly, the resolution that's before you tonight is not for us to adopt the new codes, but it's to post them and declare that they are filed in public, and then we have 90 days to pass them. So the first order of business, the HUE Committee recommends that you consider Resolution 2011-01, found on page 48, a resolution declaring the filing of the 2018 edition of the International Building Codes with the county clerk and directing that notice of its filing be published in a newspaper of general publication. I bring this resolution to you in the form of a motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Jones to approve the resolution. Have a second? Second by Commissioner Malone.
Mr. Chairman, before you vote, may I draw to attention, and this is something Commissioner Jones is not aware of, we realized today it in fact is the International Residential Code. So with your vote, if you would take that into consideration, and that reflects the code that's already on file with the county clerk's office, and that is what the notice would reflect if you approve to request it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any further questions or discussion on this item?
This is Commissioner Tester. So it's not the entire International Building Code for 2018, so it wouldn't affect commercial?
That's my understanding. It is it's the International Residential Code, and it's got a subtitle. Mayor Grandy may have more detail for you, but I've seen the book, and it was specific to the residential code. It's about 1,000 pages.
Commissioner Tester, yeah, that would be correct. In the county, we only inspect residential properties. There aren't a lot of commercial properties in the county that are outside of the city limits of Johnson City, but the few that are inspected by the state. So for us, the residential building code is really the primary tool.
Okay, got it. Thank you all.
All right, any further questions or discussions before we take a vote? All right, the question has been called. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Haight,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Huffine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and the resolution passes. Commissioner Jones?
Great. The second resolution our committee recommends for consideration by all of you can be found on page 50. It is resolution number 2011-02, resolution authorizing the acceptance of a THRAB grant award of a state board programming grant for fiscal year 2021. This is a library grant that comes in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jones, seconded by Commissioner Edens to approve the resolution. Any discussion or questions?
Call for the question.
All right. Question's been called. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carriger,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Huffine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
12 yes and 3 absent. The resolution passes. Anything else, Commissioner Jones?
No, unless there are any other questions, that's all I have for today.
All right. All right. Moving down our list, we had some committees that did not meet this month just due to lack of agenda items and some reorganizational items. Our next report will be the Budget Committee report. Commissioner Wheeler.
Yes, you'll find our minutes on page 52 of your packet, and we have 2 resolutions for your consideration this evening. The first found on page 62 of your packet, resolution number 20-11-03, resolution amending fiscal year budget 2020 to 2021 regarding the Highway Department for the replacement of the Telford New Victory Road Bridge. This comes from the committee and in the form of a motion.
Second.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler, seconded by Commissioner Edens to approve the resolution. Discussion or questions? Seeing
Call for the
none,
question.
question's been called. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carriger,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Huffine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
12 yes and 3 absent. The resolution passes. Anything else, Commissioner Wheeler?
One other resolution found on page 64 of your packet, resolution number 20-11-04, a resolution authorizing certain detention center related capital expenditures not to exceed $339,100. And that comes as recommendation from the committee, and I move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Light. Commissioner Ford. Discussion? Questions?
Call for the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carriger,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Huffine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
12 yes and 3 absent. The resolution passes. Anything else, Commissioner Wheeler?
That concludes our report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have no old business to announce this evening. We do have notaries. The resolution 2011-05 is a resolution approving the election of notaries public for appointment or reappointment for Washington County, Tennessee. Have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Made by Commissioner Eden, seconded by Commissioner Carriger to approve the resolution. Question or discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carriger,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tester,
Yes.
Huffine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
12 yes, 3 absent, and the resolution passes. One item under new business this evening is resolution number 2011-06, is resolution scheduling our regular meeting dates and times for the Board of County Commissioners for 2021. We have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Edens,
Second.
second by Commissioner Jones to approve the resolution. Questions or discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Edens,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Matherly,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carriger,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Tester,
Yes.
Huffine,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 absent.
12 yes, 3 absent, and the resolution passes. We do have a couple of things under miscellaneous announcements. The cutoff date and time for next month's County Commission agenda is Thursday, December the 3rd, 2020 at 12 noon. Also, I will be calling a meeting of the Employee Compensation and Benefits Committee this month, as the committee has not met yet since it has been appointed. So it will be required of me to call a meeting for them to elect officers. So that will take place this month. So on the regular committee agenda, we'll be meeting to just elect officers, and no further agenda that I'm aware of, unless Michelle was to have something. If you are planning on scheduling a meeting, a committee meeting, please get a hold of Sherry as soon as possible and let her get that on the schedule. I know December is a quick month, so our committee meetings will be coming up rather quickly. Does anyone have anything else or questions?
Mr. Chairman,
I have a question.
Will the benefits committee be electronic or will it be in person?
It will be electronic.
Greg, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Williams?
Will the committees routinely meet on the first Thursday, at least the bulk of them next year? In the resolution we passed, the committee dates were not included.
No. Sherry, I've worked with Sherry this month to get those dates worked out. Of course, they're a little harder to do because with the holidays of the county and trying to avoid the staffing issues some days, we have those together. I'm sure that Sherry will be sending those out because I have looked at them last week and I had a couple of dates and I wanted her to look at different dates. So Sherry's on there with us now. Sherry, do you want to weigh in on anything else I've said there?
I'll have that list together and probably send it out the first week of December so you all can mark your calendars, and I'll also have the budget committee meeting dates.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sherry's been working very hard on getting all these dates and on paper and out to us, and I appreciate her and Susan and Allison and Teresa all working so hard to get these dates all together. So, anything else before we adjourn? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Carragher. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Edens to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no nays, we are adjourned.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy Thanksgiving.